Welcome back to the Watercolour Westport Stories podcast. If you've been following along, you have learned that we are trying to bring inspiration in different ways to you. And we want you to meet people who are inspiring in their own right. And part of the growth of watercolor and the community that we're building is all of the unique experiences that people can have in the area surrounding Westport. Today we're in Newboro, part of the greater Westport area. This community has its own deep roots, history, and a beautiful studio for you to explore. And today we are in Stone Manor Studios with the founder of a visionary place that people can express their artistic creativity, learn new things, but mainly connect with each other and in a beautiful space. So here we are with Kim. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you.
I am so glad you're here.
Oh, I'm so honored to be part of your venture here. It is, to invite you here and to be able to talk about Stone Manor Studios and this beautiful village of Newboro is just such a treat. So Thank you.
Thank you. I know it's not often I sit next to rose bowls and look up at crystal chandeliers. So if I get distracted, it's because, I'm looking at something beautiful. But I'm really, really excited to meet you and to get to know a little bit more of your story. I know in our journeys as watercolor has been growing, that Stephen and I have been looking for places where people who choose to live in this area can participate in activities that are just enriching their lives in meaningful ways. And one of those places that people have mentioned to us and that we've discovered too is Stone Manor. So wonderful. I can't thank you enough for having a vision for something like this and to bringing it to life. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My husband and I came to Newboro in 2021. We had raised the children in Ottawa and we're thinking about another adventure. They had moved out of the house and now we're in our encore career. What are we going to do? And my mom happened to be quite ill at the time. And so what we thought we would do is move closer to her. And she lived in the Stittsville area. So we were looking around for houses. And we went to visit my stepdad at his place. And we got a telephone call that Mom was in the hospital and that we better get there soon.
Oh, that's
that
a hard call.
She was just failing very rapidly and unexpectedly. So we rushed over there on Monday night and she passed away that night. That evening, this house came on the market. So I feel that this was a destiny of sorts, that yes, we were meant to be here, that this was a gift that my mom had given my husband and I to come, and she wanted this for us. So we didn't know anything about old houses. We had lived in Barhaven in the suburbs, like a cliche. And so it was COVID too. We had to walk in with our hands in our pocket and slippers on and masks on. We had 45 minutes in the house.
Wow.
But you can't help falling in love with it as soon as you walk in that door.
So you were looking for a home, not necessarily a business venture.
There was another aspect to the beauty of this house, which was a standalone carriage house it had. And I had worked in Ottawa as a potter for 12 years. So I was an artist that did exhibitions, but I also did production pieces. And I also was very involved with the Ottawa Guild of Potters. And it's just such a fabulous organization. So I sort of spent 10 years working with community groups.
Okay.
And before that too, I always loved community. I came from a small town in Manitoba. My husband and I both were Manitobans, and after our undergrad, we did postgraduate work in Ottawa. And that's where we ended up and raised our kids. And then I worked as an artist part-time while I raised them. So I had art. I had a whole pottery studio. I had a kiln and wheels and all of the equipment to open up a pottery teaching studio. So that was the benefit of this beautiful place. Plus, it had Wi-Fi right to the door. It was very important during post-COVID,
Yes.
working from home remotely, and so we were really excited about that.
It's just a perfect combination of all the things you needed.
All the things I needed, and that was beautiful. We moved into this place that was a bed and breakfast. So this served the community for about 3 years, and then they suffered during COVID as well. So it was a big problem for the people that we bought the house from, and they wanted a change. So we had the standalone carriage house. We had all of these rooms. It took us about a month to deconstruct the bed and breakfast because there were beds and tables and lights in every single room. So we just deconstructed that. It was Christmas 2021, December 11th. We had our party with our friends from Barrhaven. It was a huge windstorm, and all of a sudden, 100-foot tree in the storm was picked up by the wind, and it fell on the house.
On this house?
On this house, on the main manor house, during our party.
Oh my goodness. What a welcome and an introduction.
I know. So we were here 3 months. I really was just settled, like after doing all the cleaning. I was just settled. Pottery was the next stage. We were going to get everything ready for pottery in the spring. So fast forward another 2 years. By the time we got the insurance, it was great. We had insurance. Thank you.
Yes.
And got everything fixed up. We lived out of the house for almost a year. And so when I came back in and settled down, it was like, I'm going to start something different. Pottery is another year to get set up. So I started Stone Manor Studios. So I took my education degree, my work as an artist, and my community work. I did many workshops to create what we have as Stone Manor Studios today. And it's still changing. I'm learning from all of the people that come here. I'm learning from people in the community, and it's just been a wonderful endeavor so far. And I hope it's going to keep going for many years.
What an abrupt introduction. Stephen, I don't know if we've had any trees fall on houses in Westport. No. By God's grace. That's quite, you're a very resilient person, obviously, to not be discouraged by something like that, to start off your adventure here.
I think it was a test. The house was testing us and saying, are you going to be able to stand up to my standards here? Because the house is a character in the whole story of Newboro. It was built in 1860 by John Draffin and his wife, Margaret Bell. And they raised 3 children here. They had a main store, so he was a very successful businessman on the main street in Newboro, which was a hopping community when the canal was being built. The blockhouse was finished, the Newboro blockhouse was finished in 1833, and it was a bustling community, a lot of farming, industry, and really interesting businesses, blacksmiths and canning factory and a mine, and they had this beautiful islands, and they had wonderful fishing, so it began to become a resort town as well. So right now in Newboro, we have 3 amazing resorts. We have Sterling Lodge. It's been here since the 1880s. We're just finding out some more about it. Poplars Resort, which was built actually as sort of a by locals who had gone away to Syracuse and made a fortune. And this was their summer estate. It was a gigantic estate with all kinds of amazing things. And that was built in 1932. And then we have Turtle Hill Cottages, which are just Muskoka type cottages that you can rent for a week right on the water. It's just an absolutely beautiful place. So many accommodations. So I don't do accommodations at Stone Manor Studios because I have so many wonderful partners. There's 2 bed and breakfasts in town, and it's just a wonderful place to visit. Right on the canal, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Rideau Canal, and really exciting for this year, in 2026, it's the 200th anniversary.
Yes,
of the Rideau Canal.
Yes.
And there's lots of things happening. So it's a wonderful time for Stone Manor Studios as well to offer a creative outlet for opportunities for visitors to come and to try out some creative work, but also to experience this wonderful location.
Yes, I think it's a unique opportunity to be able to stay in a historic place and experience a historic home like this, and then have it just. I think it just spurs creativity. I'm sure your guests would feel that way when they come for a workshop or sign up for a longer journeys that you have. I know you have more of the type of thing that if you want to learn a new craft or to express, artists come and have open time studios. I mean, I'd love to hear a little bit more about all the different things you do.
And we continue to grow, and it's about gathering, it's about connection. So it's people first, but there's also, to bring people together, it's creativity. So we have three kinds of ranges of experiences here. There's the workshop, which is basically an afternoon. And that is something where you can come with your friends, your girlfriends, your family, your husband, and you can pick up a craft, such as lino cutting or stained glass making. We're having some pen and ink classes, and we're having paint dates. So you learn to get your hands on some acrylic painting, and you can have a really fun experience. You have a body break, which is in this conservatory. Oh, nice. So I feel that's such an important part of your experience of creativity. It's about, it's not only about your hands, but it's about, your brain being fed and finding rest and connection with one another. Chance just to meet people, so that when you go back to your art, it takes down the comparison. It takes down the anxiety that you might have over, oh, I'm not good enough, or I can't draw. And those are all valid issues. I come to it still, oh my goodness, how am I going to get this oil painting done? And we have these experiences that allow you to explore and find energy, not only for yourself, but within a community. Another experience is the whole day experience, and that is something along the lines of a longer craft. And that comes with a lunch, and I've discovered over time that the lunch is fun if you can go and eat it in the dining room. So we do a locally sourced, so we take care of our vendors and our farmers in the area, the markets, and I go and get fresh ingredients, and we create a really fun lunch. It's all family style around the dining room, so you get to experience a little bit of history. A final two of the longer courses are more for professional or advancing artists. I find the painting behind me here is by Barb Sohn, and she is a local artist in Perth. And this was my 30th anniversary present. My husband and I, we purchased this together for 30 years of marriage. Lovely. She is an instructor here. And this art piece behind me too is actually from an interiors class we did, where we had a little sketching tour through the house. So artists who wanted to learn to paint interiors, find light. It was a 3-day workshop. And one morning everybody came in and sketched throughout the house. And then Margaret Martin, who is the instructor, she's also an instructor here. So it's a great opportunity to showcase artists and then have them teach. It's a great way to bring the artists as well, who work very hard in their profession, but can diversify a little bit. And I bring them in. I have about 25 artists that I bring in, and we work together to build curriculum, and we develop some really interesting courses.
It is amazing the breadth of opportunities that are here. And I think that for people, for maybe first time visiting, wouldn't necessarily expect to find so much in a newer, spot. But I know that you have those deep roots in the art world that are allowing you to draw on that to be able to build these meaningful experiences. What was your inspiration behind doing the sort of full day experience? Do you find that there are people who want to come for a visit that are locals, or are they coming from away?
I started doing some trial workshops in 2023, and I found about 60% of my clientele were from the area. Okay. And I think so many people were curious about what was going on, and so many people wanted to support a new business. Yes. This community is absolutely amazing. Westport and the Westport Arts Council is fabulous. The Rideau Lakes Township has been so supportive about new ventures coming here. But now I'm finding it's sort of a flip, that I have about 60% of people who are coming from away. People are coming from Toronto, Montreal. They are coming from Kemptville, anywhere sort of an hour away. Ottawa, a lot of Ottawa, Kemptville, Marrickville. And there's so many working artists out there who are looking for opportunities. And it's from all over. It's not only painting. We've got a rug hooking retreat coming up. We do a lot of fiber work. There's a fiber festival. There's a sheep over here in Newboro. There's all kinds of things with different materiality that I didn't know of first.
A sheep over?
A sheep over.
What is a sheep over? I have the vision that I'll be sleeping in a barn with some sheep. I don't think that's right.
It is started by a newcomer to Newboro. Her name is Fiona, and she has started a knitting retreat. And the knitting retreat we work together, and we have fiber adjacent classes that we offer here at Stone Manor Studios. But you stay at the Poplars in the 1923 accommodations. It's like going back to summer camp. And people knit. And you meet new people, you learn new patterns, you learn techniques. We're also having a rug hooking retreat, and that's coming up in May. And people will be doing rug hooking and staying at the Poplars and then coming and doing classes here at Stone Manor Studios.
You have pulled things 180 degrees, because I feel like many of us, and I'm not necessarily saying this is a negative thing, but many of us rely on learning things through remote platforms. But there is a richness and community that is built when you sit beside another human being and learn something. It's like standing at the kitchen counter with your beloved aunt or your mother or whoever that maternal figure or cook person is in your life, and they show you how to, do something, and the reward that comes from that and the community that's being built.
I love that aspect of the community, especially with the advancing technologies, and I love it too, because people can really access some of those fabulous master classes or workshops that people are doing online, and those are great. There still is something and room for the boutique kind of experience that I'm offering here at Stone Manor Studios. It's a real chance to connect. I think that's one of my values is connection. And there's so much that we do and can share with one another. But when we activate creativity, we're working around stories that have the capacity to change the world. Everything that we do and see is a creative act of some sort. The colors, the design, the magazines we read, the movies, the content, these are all created by people who are creative people. And when we gather together, we can do some amazing things. So I love when we get together. And making art, being able to make something that's lasting, that's a legacy project as well, that you can pass on to your children, is meaningful. And it's for all ages. So most of my clientele are women my age. We do get outliers. We do get a man along. Somebody's brought their husband. But there's also always male painters as well, who are able to do it professionally. And sometimes we have moms who are bringing their daughters along. So we get younger. And the demographic here, though, I find so interesting, because you can do an encore career with creativity.
Yes.
So if you are retired or coming to retire to Westport and Newboro, there's many retirees coming, it's a chance to have another potential career. We have Rita Lake Studio Tour every Canada Day weekend. And there are 18 artists on that studio tour. It could be something that people who are living in the area could come, take some classes at Stone Manor Studios, then join the tour. There's the Rita Lakes Artists Association, and there's many members of that. They have 2 showings a year at the Westport Arena. So the creativity is also life-giving. It's not just something benign or a waste of time, or it doesn't, some of the cliches about it.
Yes.
We shouldn't put our money into art. It is a valid and valuable resource that we have in our community.
Yeah, and it certainly contributes to wellness and longevity.
Absolutely.
People who feel that they have a expression of that creative spirit that is inspired.
And at the Canadian Home Builder Association meeting in St. John, New Brunswick 2 years ago, it was incredible. They had a keynote speaker who was the former director of Walt Disney Productions for the movie making aspect of things. And as that gentleman, I'll always fondly remember him saying, if you ask a 3-year-old, how many children are an artist? Every child puts up their hand. You ask that in an adult audience, as was sitting there, no one puts up their hand, because it's stamped out of us through school oftentimes that we don't want to be so bold as to think we could be creative. And yet everyone has a creative spark in them. Yes. Everyone has a gift and a talent and an ability. Most of us, it lay dormant, but I can remember being in art class in all the years of elementary school, middle school, high school, and just loving art and just looking at this picture. And I've had the pleasure of being here in the fall with Bell Media and CTV News and seeing the studio and just seeing that and imagining how many creative classes must be connecting and building community and connection with families and friends and people who don't know one another. And I just think what you're doing is incredible for the community.
Are you interested in seeing the studio?
Yes, I would love to do that. That's a great idea. Let's do that.
We should.
Okay.
All right.
Fantastic. Let's go.
Okay.
We're back to our episode, but we are in a very new space. So we have rejoined you up here in the loft of the Newboro Studios. This is where all the creativity happens and where you're led in workshops. And I would love to hear more about what happens here. This is amazing.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So the one main concern is the stairs. So every letter I send out, there are stairs. If you need help, come. It's not an accessible space yet.
Okay.
We may be looking at and renovating the bottom floor for accessibility, especially as our clients age. So we're going to keep going with art forever.
Or a little elevator right here.
That would be great.
Yes.
That sounds good. Or a glass elevator on the
straight
outside
lift,
that
yes.
comes in.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Oh, we can imagine anything that we can imagine, right?
Yes.
I love these sayings. The threshold of connection,
That's
the
right.
threshold of liminal space, and the threshold of incorporation. Where did you get those?
So this property is on 2.5 acres.
Okay.
1 acre is grounds, the house and the studio, and the other acre is a forest. And it's not old growth, but it certainly is old forest.
Okay.
And so I have been working on it to develop it as another space of learning and creativity. I hired a forest therapist to come, and they curated a lovely forest bath for me through the forest. And it has 8 invitations, and it has 3 thresholds. So I felt it was just so amazing to bring that concept into the studio itself. So the threshold of connection is as you enter, so you're connecting with the forest. The liminal space is where you let your heart sense go and you choose a path. And as soon as you step away out of the forest onto the grounds, you're incorporating it again back into your real space. So there's 8 invitations along the way. It's offered at all creative workshops that you could go walk and have a forest bath, self-directed. And sometimes I have actually forest therapists come and do guided tour through there. That's paired with some creative act. Could be drawing leaves or flowers or weaving or some kind of creative act that goes along with wellness, as we were talking about downstairs.
Yes.
Wellness and joy and keeping healthy.
I think it was you, Stephen, that pointed me to an article in Scotland where the doctors were now allowed to prescribe forest bathing for wellness.
Many doctors are prescribing forest bathing.
And we have a significant investment in forestry in watercolor.
And we do. And Richard Louv, who wrote the book Last Child in the Woods, he talks about there's nature deficit disorder is a thing. And it's a real thing that people are suffering from all around the world. And we don't even realize that we're so deprived in our modern day living. 90% indoors, 5% car, 5% transition time is the average for most people. And it doesn't have to be that way when you live in Eastern Ontario, and you have accessibility right in your neighborhood, as with watercolor, but in so many places like Frontenac Park. So many of our homeowners, as much as they love our trails, they love Frontenac Park, which is our Algonquin Park. And
absolutely, the Cataraqui Trail. There's so much access to trails. There's a new trail in Westport as well that the Westport Tourist Group just put together. We're working on a trail here in Newboro just to bring back nature as well. So that's another element at Stone Manor Studios.
Beautiful.
But here we are to be creative. We can move and change. Obviously, I have the holiday season. I run a 2 months of handmade for the holidays. And we do all kinds of holiday inspired workshops.
Yes.
And we're just completing that now. So now we have open studios. So this is where I sit during open studios. And I've been returning to some oil painting now as pottery lives down in the basement in boxes. I work with 8 other women who come in with their own knitting and painting and writing. And this will happen all through the winter. So
wonderful.
it goes until the end of March, where there's open studios. You can register at Stone Manor Studios, and we have a maximum of 12 people that we have here. And it's just a chance to be together, but it's quiet. There's classical music playing, and you work on your own thing and talk, and people bring food. We have a kitchen, so you have a refrigerator.
Lovely.
We have cold drinks. We have unlimited tea and coffee here. This is where my pottery gets to come in, because you have to pick a pottery mug from some amazing maker who from Ontario and Canada. So do you want to come and see the mugs?
I would love to see those
Come and see the mugs. Come.
I'm not sure which one I would choose, but let's just see what you've got to offer. And look at those mugs.
There we go.
Oh my word. Okay, Stephen, what do I go with? A flower, the theme? Oh, this is beautiful. Here's a...
That's a mug made by Leslie McAnally, and she is a potter out of Cookston. She's from Scotland, so that's our second Scottish shout out today.
Look at the tree where would this have been fired and glazed?
So it'll be fired in Cookston, Ontario, just outside of Barrie.
Oh, tea just tastes better in a mug that looks like that. That's all I'm going to say.
We have a local potter who's in Portland. He does wood firing, which is really amazing, and we're going to be working with some workshops.
To get a kiln to the right temperature using wood, that's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you create one of these mugs?
It's way up high there.
The one on the right?
Yes.
I'm pretty tall, so I'm going to
grab it. Great, thank you.
Oh, okay. Tell me the story. How did that come together? Do you remember?
So these are one of my production pieces. I did pottery production pieces, functional wear.
Yes.
Functional wear in a line. So I do a lot of narrative in my work. I have the story of memory. The word memory is stamped on it.
I see that. And I also see a butterfly and what looks like a script.
That'd be a script. I have old texture, just to try to create a sense of something ancient. And I use gold luster in my work, and that's my little bit of magic.
Stunning. Very functional, but very beautiful.
Thank you.
To create something out of nothing,
Thank
for
you.
which,
Very
like
beautiful.
Wafa has said, tea tastes better in a mug like that.
It absolutely does.
Or
and
coffee.
You do.
Yes.
And it's a very intimate object.
Oh, yes.
You hold it, it's warm, you bring it to your mouth, you share stories around a table over it.
Yeah.
And mugs are very special.
Indeed. Wow. Really lovely. So I can't thank you enough for joining us today. Thank you for hosting us in your beautiful space, and thank you for all you're bringing to the community.
I appreciate it.
And we invite all of our followers, listeners, watchers to reach out. You can find Stone Manor Studios online to get more information about their workshops at
StoneManorStudios.ca.
There you go.